Hey guys, got a video for you today. Just on how I go about making interesting percussion using samplers, FM, and reverb, and a few other little tricks. So just an example of what you can do using this method. I've got a drum loop here. Some people might know that drum beat. I made this out of it. Kind of different than the original source. So I have a sample here which I've already quantized and cut, so you can see I'm just making sure I've got individual consolidated samples here. It's a nice stretched out drum beat. We're going to add a drum rack. I'm going to drag our samples into a drum rack. Going to make a MIDI note, decently long to account for any tails that we might want to use. We have 4 samples, make 4 notes. We'll consolidate that and put them so we're running through our samples there. So now we can grab this little section, loop that, and we can hear our noise over and over. First thing I'm going to do is change this to a sampler. And we're going to be playing with FM, as I said, so let's start adding in some FM. Trying to make some sort of a kick with this. Add some pitch. We can add some amplitude modulation, which is extremely important for shaping drum samples. We want a really strong attack there. Cool. Might want to use some filter to filter out some of those highs. Bring it right down so we just get a thump. But we'll add the filter envelope. Till we get just a bit of tap on our kick. If we choose a different circuit here, we can also use the drive function, which will just add a little bit of saturation or distortion, I guess. Can even use the shaper. Sounds good enough. Let's move to our next sample. Change it to a sampler. Just FM, sorry. Might try and make some sort of snare with this. Not too much. We might change the original pitch of this. A bit like what we did with the kick. Let's try and define that transient. I like that. Next sample. Change to a sampler. FM. Let's try a bit more coarse. cool. That's what I'm making. Some sort of a pseudo tom, maybe. That will do. Next sample. Let's make a hat out of a China and kick, of course. FM. Wow, let's do it. And obviously being a hat, let's try and filter. That adds some more attack though. What we can actually do is like filter envelope the other way. I like that. So now what I would do is create a new audio track, resample and record this down. Thing I like to do is to consolidate all those. Go by adding another drum rack. Getting our samples back in. We can use the exact same MIDI because we just want to hear our sounds over again. Awesome. Now, what I would like to do here is add some bit of stereo width and interest to the sound. I'm going to do that by using convolution reverb. I'm not sure of one, but I'm sure there's one out there for free if you don't own Max for Live. Or if there is none for free, I'm sure you can probably do it with reverb. But obviously adding reverb straight over the top of this entire track, we've got a kick there. We really don't want to muddy up that kick or the sub frequencies of that kick. So I'm going to do a quick little trick here. Use multi-band dynamics. Group that. Duplicate the chains. We have 2 chains here. Solo the low on one. And we'll have the mids and highs coming through the other. So it should sound no different. But now what it means is we have our sub there separate. So we can add multi-band effects over the top of just our mids and highs. Drag that into there. So something I like to do with the convolution reverb is finding little strange sounds. I've probably got one here that I've used before. Yeah, maybe a water droplet. Because what you can get is really short sounds on top of your drums. Cool. So you can hear it's like made our drum sound watery. Pretty interesting. Yeah. I'm going to make a version of this. So let's resample again. And we'll drag this one over there. And let's change our convolution reverb just so we've got two different sort of drum sounds. Something like that, short. Yeah, a little bit more. Cool. Something like that. Let's record that. Come on. So now what we have is two different drum beats. About the same drums, but different set of effects. Consolidate all of these. Control J if you don't know on a Mac. New MIDI track. Go to our drum rack again. And drag all these in. Cool. So now with this little section here and our process drums, we can actually start writing some sort of a drum beat in. This can take a long time, so I'm going to go something very simple. Helps if you follow the right track. Yeah, something like that. Cool. I feel like changing this hi-hat in there. Making that hi-hat just a little shorter. And there you have it. From here, you can go in and, you know, I might use just a little bit of glue compression. Fatten things up. You can use an EQ. looks like a really nice drum beat there. You can see how the kick drum, the hi-hats, and the snare have all got their really own places, but they've all got this uniform thing about them, you know, this sort of slightly glassy, watery sort of effects. Cool. I hope you guys enjoyed. This is the first video that I've made like this. If you have enjoyed it, please do follow and like and all that sort of stuff. And hopefully this will be the start of a lot more to come. Cheers. Enjoy.